Chapter 49, The Flyer.
With coaching from his mother, Brightbill was becoming a truly exceptional flyer. He wasn't the biggest or the strongest, but he was the smartest. You see, he and his mother had started studying the flying techniques of other birds. They'd sit for hours and watch how hawks and owls and sparrows and vultures moved through the air. Then they'd go to the grassy ridge, and Brightbill would practice what he had learned. Hey, he's developing a skill. Soon he was diving and swooping and darting and soaring around the island. The adult geese frowned at his flying tricks, but the goslings thought he was amazing. Each morning a gaggle of them would wait on the water for Brightbill to lead them into the sky. Then a few hours later he'd return home to Roz, shaking his tail feathers and telling her about his latest airborne adventures. "Mama!" The other goslings didn't know that as warm air rises, so I found an updraft, and we spent the afternoon circling around and around, hardly flapped our wings at all. "Mama, did you see that lightning storm today? We knew there was trouble when the wind started blowing from the north, so we flew down to some shrubs and waited for the storm to pass." "Mama, we just tried to fly in formation. We all took turns at the point, but everyone liked following me the best, so I led most of the time." Chapter 50, The Button. Brightbill was thinking about the small button at the back of his mother's head. His mother was thinking about it, too. They couldn't stop wondering what would happen if the button was pressed. One day they decided it was time to find out. "Oh, I'm scared." Roz sat on the floor of the nest. Her son nervously stood on a stone behind her. "I am ready when you are," said the robot. "Okay," said the gosling. "Here we go." Brightbill took a deep breath and click! Roz's body relaxed. Her quiet whirring slowly stopped, and her eyes faded to black. I hope I can get her back on. "Mama, can you hear me?" There was no answer. Brightbill waddled around and looked at his mother's face. Her strange spark of life had gone out. The gosling never felt more alone. He was ready to switch her back on, but what if she didn't wake up? What if she woke up different? The gosling was afraid to press the button, and he was afraid not to press the button. Brightbill took a deep breath and click! Roz's body tensed. Her quiet whirring slowly started, and her eyes began to glow. "Mama, can you hear me?" "Hello, I am Rozum, Unit 7134. But you may call me Roz." The robot spoke these words automatically in a language that Brightbill didn't understand. His little heart raced. His worst fears seemed to be coming true. But a moment later her familiar voice returned, and the robot said in the language of the animals, "Hello, son. How long was I out? It seemed like only an instant to me." "You were out for a few minutes," said the gosling as he hugged his mother, "but it seemed like forever to me." The autumn. The days were getting shorter, the air was getting crisper, and one morning Roz walked out to find a layer of frost on the garden. Autumn had come to the island. The tree leaves, which had been green for the robot's entire life, had turned yellow, orange, and red. Then they let go of their branches and floated down to the ground, and the forest gradually filled with the sounds of creatures scurrying through the dead leaves. Tree nuts were also falling, thunking onto roots and rocks and occasionally clanging off the robot. The smell of flowers faded as blossoms withered. All the rich scents and colors of the island were draining away. The animals were also changing. Furry animals were growing more fur. Feathery animals were growing more feathers. Scaly animals were starting to look for new homes. "Yerp, it's cooling off," croaked one frog to another. "Before long it'll be time for sleeping." "Yerp, better start looking for a good hole," croaked the other frog. "Have you found one yet?" "Nah. I'll look for a hole next week. For now I'm going to enjoy the warm sunlight while it lasts." "Yerp." Many of the island animals were already thinking about their winter hibernation. Frogs, bees, snakes, and even bears would soon disappear and spend the next few months out of sight. And then there were the birds. Some birds, like owls and woodpeckers, would spend their winter nesting and eating the island's few remaining edibles. But the migratory birds were preparing for their long journey south to the warm wintering grounds, and among the birds destined to leave were,
That's right, the geese.